First question is from Cole Kosnick. Is it true that your body can only absorb 30 grams of protein in a sitting?
Yeah, you know what I picture whenever somebody asks this question? Like a caveman, you know? Yeah. He hunted, he killed a thing, and he eats, they stop.
Yeah.
We cannot eat no more.
Just leg.
Yeah, no. You know, this is a good example of what I said earlier in the podcast about the supplement side of the industry, how information gets filtered through it. This is a myth, and it was promoted largely because it's putting more than 30 grams of protein in a protein bar makes them taste disgusting. A scoop of protein powder is about 30 grams. You're not going to fit more protein in a scoop. And so they came up with this lie, and it's not true. You can definitely absorb more than 30 grams of protein in a sitting. What determines what you can absorb or not or whatever is your digestion. Yep. So if you eat more than 30 grams, you find digestive issues.
Well, now that being said, you know, let's say when you eat 90 grams of protein in one sitting, it messes with your digestion. Is some of that not getting absorbed? Like, let's say if someone,
if you got real bad diarrhea, maybe.
That's what I mean. Let's say that happens. I mean, that's happened to me before, where I eat something that is too much like dairy and too much protein all in one shot, and I'm like, I'm in the restroom right afterwards. So now I know, my body is still getting the calories because. I mean, otherwise you would never put on any body fat, and you could eat as much, overeat as much protein as possible.
Well, I mean, in extreme cases, when people have extreme digestive issues, they do have trouble gaining weight because everything they eat, it goes right through them. But I mean, that's an extreme case. If you eat 90 grams of protein and you digest it fine, you're absorbing all 90 grams. It doesn't happen instantly. It's got to get broken down, goes through the system, and you will absorb all that. I routinely eat 70 to 80 grams of protein at a meal. My dinner typically is around that.
Yeah, but I think the more important point to make is what I was just asking about that. So you're fine. You don't have any,
Yes.
You're not, but what if you're somebody who does eat north of 40, 50 grams of protein, or 30 in this case is what they're asking. You eat, 35 or 40, and every time you do that, you notice you have to rush to the bathroom.
Yeah. I mean, then that's always number one, right? Is your health. So that should determine.
It's actually number two.
Yeah. Thank you, Justin. Boom. Nice. That would determine kind of what you should and shouldn't eat more than anything else. Yeah. But all things being equal, this is a total myth. You absorb all the protein that you eat, all things being equal, whether it's at once or broken up. Now, there can be arguments as to why you might want to break up protein servings. It could help maybe with satiety, maybe with behaviors. There might be a performance benefit to eating protein every 4 hours or so, but it's a small benefit. But this may be the case for high-level athletes, or if you're eating 250 grams of protein a day, well, you're going to probably want to eat 5 or 6 servings of protein at 50 grams or so. But this is a total myth, and it was literally put out because if you buy a protein bar, I should say, 30 grams is about the cutoff. More than that, it's going to taste gross. Mm-hmm. It's going to be big. It's going to be heavy.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
Yes.
Yeah, because they had to have a specific number, and to standardize that, it came from the supplement industry.
It did.
So it's like there wasn't like this crazy study where they all of a sudden had this epiphany that 30 grams was the number that you could only absorb. There's so many other individual variances to consider.
Now, do you think there is a sweet spot for the general population of because you got to think that there's a tipping point for almost everybody.
Of course,
at one point it's going to mess your digestion up. I mean, if you try and sit down and eat
there's just too much anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So, exactly.
I feel like you could train yourself too, though, like in terms of introducing more protein meals that are like a little bit higher in protein, like gradually. Yeah. I'm sure you could even absorb more at that point.
And
so it's
I noticed the type of protein is what matters for me more than anything else. I could eat a 2-pound steak and be fine.
No problem.
No problem. But if I were to have if I were to put 4 scoops of whey protein in a shake, that I would 100%.
Probably the dairy,
I would 100% be on the toilet right away after that. So I guess for me, for trying to answer this question, someone was like, yes, this is largely a myth and made up from the supplement industry, but also the most important thing for you to pay attention, forget the grams of protein, but pay attention to when you push certain types of proteins to certain levels. Do you find yourself with diarrhea on the toilet right afterwards? And then that's your indicator that you probably should scale back on that, or pair it with
switch
something
your
else.
Protein,
Or switch your protein.
Or gas, or flatulence that's really bad, or bloating, or constipation. Like, these are all signs that you need to change something in your diet because it's affecting your digestion poorly. And when your digestion's off, everything's off. People need to understand this. Inflammation is up. Your hormones will get affected negatively. So it's a big deal. Digestive enzymes, by the way, can help quite a bit.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yes, they can help quite a bit. So, and really, digestive enzymes become more valuable. Well, when people have gut issues, digestive enzymes are like
Lifesavers.
They're money, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a high level athlete, you're eating a very high protein diet. Like, I weigh 200 and right now about 205 pounds. If I were to eat 205 grams of protein, which I try to hit most of the time, but usually I fall right around 170 or so. But if I hit over 200, it can get a little high for me, and digestive enzymes make a big difference for me. They help me break it down, and people will find this when
That's
they
the
eat
mass enzymes, right?
Yeah, that's the company we work with. That's the best.
So
one.
when do you take that? Like right before your meal?
Right with the meal, yeah, two capsules right with the meal,
Okay.
and then I'm set.
Okay.